Taking cuttings from the plants in your garden is a method of propagation. Vegetative propagation, as it happens. Stem cuttings can be softwood, greenwood, semi-ripe or hardwood, and they can be taken as a basic stem cutting or as a heel cutting. The best time to take the cuttings from the plants is in the morning, which is when the plant is turgid, that is full of water. The cuttings can be a basic stem cutting, which is where you count down the number of buds and cut from the stem, or it can be a heel cutting, which is where you gently pull a side stem away from the main stem. Cuttings should be potted up into a very free draining compost. Here you can see I've added perlite to the potting compost to ensure that the cuttings root rather than rot. Whether you have softwood, greenwood, semi-ripe or hardwood cuttings, the basic techniques are the same. They all need a free draining compost and the preparation of the cutting is very similar. With the softwood, greenwood and semi-ripe cuttings, which is what we're looking at here and in a related blog on the website, one removes most of the leaves from the stem to reduce water loss and therefore stress to the plant. Where the cutting has been taken from the main stem of the plant rather than the side stem, the apical bud, the one at the top, may need to be taken out unless it's really at the end of the season when the plant has stopped growing. Hormone rooting powder can be very useful with some plants that take quite a long time to root. It's also useful later on in the season when the growth of plants is starting to slow down, but you still want to be able to take cuttings. You only need a small amount of hormone rooting powder, so damp the end of the stem, knock off the surplus, and that should be plenty. You can see there that's far too much on that little stem. Then take your stem cutting, make a hole in the potting compost with your dibber, insert the stem, this way it won't be damaged because a hole has been made for it, and firm the soil back around the stem. Carry on until your pot is filled up, and then you can label it. It's an idea to add both the plant name and also the date when you took the cutting. This will help you when you're checking your cuttings to see whether they have actually taken. Some cuttings will take in a short time, about a month. Others may well take until the following spring. When all potted up, your cuttings need to be put into a protective environment such as a cool propagator or a cold frame or even an unheated greenhouse. Check on them regularly to make sure that they're not going damp. Do be aware that deciduous and even evergreen cuttings may well lose their leaves initially.